Hello, my name is Mary Dunn, and this is my research presentation for intercultural communications. There are so many cultures around the world that many people know close to nothing about. There are even more cases when a person believes that they know a certain group, but in reality, they know very little about these people. In my opinion, I believe that this is the framework for stereotypes. For this assignment, I was able to examine a culture that I had only been exposed to slightly. During my research, I came across numerous facts that I found very interesting. I decided to focus on the Zulu tribe of South Africa. Through historical background, specific cultural signifiers, learning misperceptions by Americans, and the shocking discoveries about these people, I now have a better understanding of a different cultural group. Initially, I decided to talk about this topic because of a movie I watched several years ago. The movie was called The Color of Friendship, and it focused on an African-American family who wanted to host a foreign exchange student. They attempted to have one come from Africa, and when she arrived, they were surprised to find that she was Caucasian. Both the family and the girl were caught off guard due to racial expectations. For this reason, I believe that South Africa was a country consisting of mostly white people. But according to ourafrica.org, I learned that this was far from the truth, and that in fact, 80% of the population was a Black South African majority. Upon hearing this, I knew I wanted to center my research on one of the Black ethnic groups of this country. I decided to focus on the Zulu tribe because my father, a historian and teacher, told me that this cultural group would be very interesting. When trying to understand a culture in more depth, one of the most important aspects is knowing the historical background about this group of people. South Africa consists of 4 major ethnic groups. The Zulu people came from the northern and central Anuhe. This is according to sahistory.org. The word Zulu means sky or heaven. Also according to this website, this group was initially formed in 1670. In the 18th century, the Zulu tribe began to become more official, and the transition from the pastoral society to a more organized statehood had begun. The Zulu is now one of the most well-known tribes in South Africa and is the largest population of ethnic groups in South Africa. According to Buzz South Africa, it consists of 10 million people, and sahistory.org says that of the 45 people in South Africa, the Zulu account for approximately 22% of them. Knowing South African history is also an important key when grasping the background of this tribe. A large part of the South African history encompasses the time period when apartheid was very prominent. Racial segregation and white supremacy had been an issue in South Africa for many years, although apartheid was just the beginning of making it official, according to history.com. Apartheid in the Republic of South Africa was a previous system of legislation that segregated and oppressed all non-white people both politically and economically. It was enacted through the Population Registration Act of 1950. It banned all sort of relations between the white people and any other non-white individuals. History.com also says that 80% of the land was set aside for a small population of white people. These were just some of the horrible acts that took place during this time. Resistance to the government ranged from various attempts of nonviolent demonstrations to protests to strikes. The confrontation did gain attention from around the world when in 1973 the United Nations General denounced apartheid. This policy was in effect for 50 years until 1991 when the government repealed the basis of the rules. History.com also says that it was not a complete end until the new constitution took effect in 1994. The culture of the Zulu people has many signifiers that make it distinct from other tribes in South Africa. The way the Zulus dress for an average day is very similar to how any other South African citizen would dress. The holidays, however, are a different thing. They go all out on dress, and they enjoy vibrant colors. Traditional Zulu clothing is only worn on holidays such as Shaka's Day. This is the day in September when they celebrate their founder, Shaka Zulu. In fact, the tribe is known for having a strong fighting spirit because of the renowned warriors in their history, according to Buzz South Africa. Additionally, women dress certain ways based on their marital statuses. Interesting Africa Facts says that more clothing is required for women who are married, such as their entire body covered, than a single woman who could wear a short skirt and it would be normal. Another significant issue is what the language is based on. The name of the language is isiZulu, and it focuses on highlighting respect terms. According to Buzz South Africa, the Zulu member would address an elder as Baba for father and Mama for mother, even if they weren't their parents, just out of respect and appreciation. Lastly, where they live can be a sign of the fact that a person is a member of the Zulu tribe. Although some live in urban settings, according to Wildlife Safari Adventures, many traditional Zulu members still live in rural communities in KwaZulu province. The attitudes, values, and beliefs of the Zulu tribe are key factors in separating them from the rest of the citizens of South Africa. According to SAhistory.org, the first religion plays a key role in the culture. During colonialism, the Zulu members converted to Christianity. Today, their religious beliefs are very similar to those of the past. Many people are still Christians, but according to Wildlife Safari Adventures, some do have strong beliefs in ancestral spirits. According to Buzz South Africa, it is a tradition that an animal is sacrificed with all rites of passages. This includes birth, adulthood, marriage, and death. The basis of the Zulu members who focus their belief on ancestral spirits have a creator god known as Unkulankulo, and there is an ancestral spirit who communicates with the tribe members known as Amadlozi. This is according to Wildlife Safari Adventure. Next, Zulu people highly value family. However, their meaning of family is slightly different from the traditional American idea. Anyone who lives in a homestead that is related by blood, adoption, or marriage is considered to be a person's family member. Friendship is also very important to these people. A way that it shows in this culture is through eating from the same large dish. SAhistory.org says that this has been a tradition beginning when the Zulu tribe began. American society creates stereotypes for all different culture groups, and the Zulu and South African citizens are no exception to this. The widely known misperception from nationalstereotype.com is that Africa as a whole is an entirely primal and savage country. It is not true though, especially when regarding South Africa. Even with the country's continual poverty, the strides that are being made have made tremendous efforts in improving the country. Many common stereotypes in South Africa today is that the native South African people are all criminals and all the black people are in gangs. The image of the white people, according to nationalstereotype.com in South Africa, is that they are classist, racist, and all live on farms. There have been studies that they ask people questions about what it is like to live in South Africa. Real questions that were produced from the SouthAfrican.com were very stereotypical. Some examples include, do you have lions in your gardens? Do you ride on elephants? Do you have internet, cars, or money? And do you have a slave in South Africa? These questions are very strong indicators as to how people view South Africa and just how much they do not know about the country. After completing so much research and learning so many facts about the Zulu culture, I came across many surprising factors and shocking concepts that caught me off guard. The biggest wow factor for me was when I discovered that language facts about South Africa and the Zulu culture. South Africa is a multilingual culture that has 11 official languages. According to the government of South Africa at gov.za, the languages are English, Isanable, isiXhosa, isiZulu, Afrikaans, Sepedi, Sesotho, Setswana, Seswati, Sesavenda, and Seslanga. There are also additional languages spoken, including Ko, Namasan languages, sign language, Arabic, German, Greek, Jujardu, Hebrew, Hindi, French, Portuguese, Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. The variety of languages is such an extreme amount. The Zulu language, isiZulu, is a part of the Anuhe language group. isiZulu is South Africa's most widely spoken language, and according to SAhistory.org, the language is a huge cultural bond for the Zulu people. In conclusion, my selection in examining the Zulu people of South Africa was very eye-opening. Sometimes I fail to realize the deep history and vibrant culture go way beyond the world that I exhibit. The Zulus of yesterday and today are fascinating people. Family, tradition, language, and a history that intrigues makes them a culture everyone should be aware of. I am certain that this research project and paper will not be the only examination of the Zulu for me. Thank you for your time.